Hello and welcome to week, or shall we say, the third instalment. It's good to be back on. Another great message. As you can see from the title, we're working with Saturn today. Very interesting message that came through, as always, and this planetary range that we're doing, as I've mentioned the last two times, is very apt for where we are right now. So invoking this consciousness of these planets is very important, because obviously it's going to allow the foundational imprints of the soul energy to start to move through you much easier, because you're creating space, a channel for that energy. And also, we are so plugged into these planets, and when we sleep, we're out in our different bodies. Often we will be visiting these planets anyway, because they're very instrumental in our Earth life. And as we incarnate, as we come through through this universal channel, we pick up imprints of each planet according to our life path and what the soul has laid forth in its contract. So obviously, they play a huge part in affecting us. Obviously, from the basic astrology, but there's also a deeper sense of connection once you let go of the conditioning of the third dimensional world. Because once you let that go, you start to take on the different frequencies, the more subtle frequencies, the more intuitive frequencies, and the deeper knowledge and understanding exactly what these planets have to offer. And many ancient cultures would speak to them obviously on a day-to-day basis. I know the Aboriginals, I know the American Indians and other tribes are in constant communication and talking to the planets as I'm talking to you now. It's just a free-flowing conversation. And that's why also, they're coming through, obviously channels like me and other, obviously, so there's other channels bringing through information as well, to make sure that this information is grounded. Because even if you don't do the exercises, you're listening, it's also starting to transform you. It's the same as when I put my first book together. I had to design a picture for the original algorithm of the source's coding. And that's actually just staring at that picture starts to activate the DNA coding as well. So things are being made very simple for us at the moment. So it's really important that we just jump on the wagon and just go with the flow. And like I said, the great thing is it's not another full set of rules and procedures to come into alignment. It's more about just getting out of the way and allowing transformation to occur in front of you, and just being conscious, obviously, and plugged in. And really only need 10-15 minutes a day of connecting in with this type of energy, and that's enough to steer the boat in the right direction. And of course, when you do these things, it brings up many lifetimes of different emotional energy and belief systems and traumas. So we have to be conscious to not swallow that again and push it down. And not get into the old habitual thinking of 3D, like, push down the emotions, let's not worry about them, let's just move on, we'll be okay, stiff upper lip and all that. That doesn't work, never has, never will. And that's why people that do that end up manifesting all kinds of problems as they get, later in life. And these sudden heart attacks and all these rest of things is because of that emotion energy has been denied for so long. So like I said, so this is simplifying our transition. Spirit realize, that we are, in some ways, I've said again before, we're going backwards, but also we have lost connection. And that's really alarming for, our own aspects of our own consciousness on a multidimensional level, because, as I've said before, guides are imprints of our own soul body, assisting ourselves. And obviously, we are connected to all the different densities in alignment with source energy, and we're all playing a part in the experience. But also, as life evolves and moves on beyond this universe, because there's many universes and experiences we're having, we have to finalize the duality, the separation experiment or experience. And it's very rocky at the moment, as we know. Deep underneath all that, the consciousness is moving and it's powerful and there's nothing's going to stop it. It's a tidal wave, so it's coming. And that's the beautiful thing about it all. But it's just getting human beings conscious of what is unconscious, and that's the hard thing at the moment. And that's where you know, a lot of channels or people that are bringing the information for spirit, you know, it's really trying to get people to awaken. And that's why these types of things are coming through, because as soon as you set the intention, the ego consciousness gets pushed out the way. That's the difference now than working even 5 years ago. Even though your ego's still there, but the soul is so, it's hit its limit. It has to reconnect with its human extension. So just putting that intention there in that moment multiplies the healing process. And you're not even going to be aware of probably 95% of it. It's going to be working on so many different levels, and the soul will use that intention to come into the space and start transforming things. And of course, obviously, the planets are then doing the same thing. And you know, our souls are always in communication with the planets anyway, because they're very instrumental in how we evolve and how we move through this three-dimensional reality. So yeah, really, so coming back to the foundation, just being present, 10-15 minutes a day, sitting with these planetary bodies as we're moving through this next few months, because I'm doing them every 2 weeks. So it's going to be a couple of months till we finish, and we'll be going all the way up to Pluto. And then as I'm being told now, there's going to be some stars involved as well. So we'll be bringing some of Andromeda. It's going to be instrumental as well. And they're actually, Andromeda was one of the first seeded races, and I think they were the Mayan civilization. And there are, and they're still floating about in all different areas as well. So we'll see what comes through as well, but we will be doing our solar system, absolutely. And then obviously we'll look at how Spirit want to extend that, because there's so many beings looking at Earth, and there's many trying to connect with us. So I'm sure there's going to be, especially next year, I know it's going to go off the charts with these channelings and different things coming through. So it's going to be, it's exciting as well. But at the moment this year, really, we have to get into the gritty dirt of our shadow energy, and really just let it release itself. It's not hard. It's been simplified. We just have to have intention, and the essence to do it, and know that everything's okay, and that nothing can go against your will. We are creators of our own reality, even though societal programming tells us differently, but that again is a lie, it's an illusion. This is really about sovereignty now, taking back sovereignty over our energetic body. But in order to do that, all we need to do is clear the layers. And it's not so much, again, having to achieve something. We just need to remove things. And then the achievement's already within us. We're already powerful light beings. So I'm going to read off the message now. So this is Saturn, channeled a few days ago actually. Okay, I've been given many names over the centuries, known to many of your ancient cultures as a celestial god. And I come forward today to share my light, my love, my experience with you. I am poised to bring back the foundation of all life on earth, so you may understand that it was I that provided you with the sacred geometry to build your bodies. And it is I that now wishes to bring forth the sacred algorithm of sources coding back through your dormant DNA to awaken your cellular information. So many of you struggle to stay grounded in the moment, and this has a lot to do with cellular information. You have all become so separate from your origins that you are now in confusion as to your very existence on Earth. My consciousness wishes to awaken your original awareness of this grand experiment on Earth, but also what it means to be physical. You are struggling with your lives because the ancient information is not present in your awareness, and this is causing separation between you and your feelings. The cranium is where I sit with my consciousness, and I am bringing forth 6th density consciousness to align with your 3rd density awareness or consciousness, allowing the sacred form of geometric coding to awaken the 6th density in your day-to-day awareness or living. This will bring alignment to the column of divine consciousness, reawakening on the earth plane. There is a grand unlocking occurring in your galaxy that will allow a constant stream of light onto the planet, and you will start to see a shimmering around people's auras as this light grounds itself. When this experience is fully grounded, your bodies will become more ethereal, enhancing the colours around the body as they become more noticeable. This stream of colour is actually your multidimensional soul body being present in your 3rd density reality. And if you tune into the colour, you will see other realities you exist in. I open my heart to all of you now to remember the grand emergence that is occurring in your planetary bodies. Give me permission to bring you into alignment with the universal construct, the grand plan, so you may awaken the deepest knowledge and understanding that you all possess of this grand experiment. This awakening will affect co-creative consciousness, strengthening its resolve, allowing a foundational unity that will assist the planet and the human race out of separation. You have so much programming in you that defies the truth that it's almost impossible now for the human race to find balance both as a planet and as an individual. This misinformation sits in the cellular structure and is almost in argument with the sacred truth. And this is actually where the shadow forces got their ideas around separation and misinformation. They are masters at genetic manipulation, and they have witnessed this conflict of ancient truth with their misinformation within the cell body. And through their genetic experiments, they had laid forth much of their agendas, which have been ironclad up till now. Understand the entire universe can be witnessed within only one cell of your body. So it's understandable that you could see future outcomes by telepathically looking into a cell. And by intention, you could ask any question and see the answer. This has been one of the pinnacle points of weapons against sovereignty on your planet. The cell is a master creator and has access direct to source. So of course, all is possible through cellular communication and manipulation. An intention placed into just one cell could cause an epidemic across an entire planet. Why? Because all cells are communicators of non-physical communication. They are felt and experienced in the non-physical, which makes them very powerful. We would like your permission to move into your manipulated cellular world and start the process of unconditioning the unilateral hold they have over stellar information. You will need to sit for 20 minutes a day and invoke my consciousness and give permission to all I have laid down in this transmission. When I said me, I mean my race that also lives within my body. They too have been seen as ancient gods to your ancestors. They have not always been in service. In actual fact, their self-serving agendas have birthed many conflicts on your planet. They too are now wishing to assist humanity for their past mistakes. I come through as masculine in this transmission, but actually my work now is that of a feminine expression. I came today to express myself as masculine, to remind you all that the masculine energy in alignment with the galaxy can actually rebuild your planet in a way that it is safe for all to experience. I am bringing my consciousness to those that misuse power on your planet, especially the manipulation of nature and the seas. The tight control around your financial system will soon fuel me, as I bring balance to this energy you call money. On that note, I can also assist you in organising your finances and help to balance your needs that are focused on what you really need in life. Let me enter your cranium. Let me filter through your cellular hearts and bring my consciousness in assistance. I will also assist you with your permission to find balance in your polarity. Okay, jolly good. So a great message. Just have a listen back to that last part, just so you've, because I think it was about 3 or 4 things that Saturn's wishing to work with you, work with us in this in that 20-minute a day sitting. You probably only need to, well, you just be intuitive. You may need to do it 3 or 4, 5, 6 times. Just depends on how much is going on in your life and how much conditioning there is and how much healing you've done on yourself before. But you'll know intuitively when to stop it. And like I said, I'm giving a 2-week break in between each channeling. To give 2 weeks, it gives you enough time to practice or to sit and just receive, should I say, and also allow that integration process. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to shoot off. So thank you so much for listening, and I will be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see what planet comes through next time. Take care. All the best.